We're no longer muted. We're here. It's Monday. What's up? What's up?
What's going on, good people?
Tube, what's going on? Tube, what's going on? Earners, flood the building. What's going on? What's up with you? A glorious Monday. Somebody raised their hand already. What's up, people? It's Monday, so you know what time it is.
Market Mondays is back in full effect. What's going on?
You putting the bat signal out right now?
Yeah.
Bat signal is going out. Somebody just said they in Crenshaw. What up? What up, Crenshaw?
Shout out to Cali.
What's going on? How y'all doing?
What's the deal?
Man, how y'all feeling?
Oh, we great, bro.
Good.
Man, y'all looking glorious. Well, hydrated. What Bank said, been to LA for a day now, see no seeds. Hey. No, good to see y'all.
Shout out to California, man. Always a good time when we get out here. You know, it's crazy because it's daytime, and usually what we used to doing Market Mondays is nighttime, 8 o'clock, but it's 5 o'clock on the West Coast. So it's always
We're gonna wrap this up early. Watch. Rashad gonna have us on 25 minutes. All right, let's wrap it up. Earnings report. Troy, let's go.
It's weird. It's like bedtime after Market Mondays. You get like maybe you can eat your dinner, then go to bed.
Yeah.
Now it's like, wait, the sun's still up. What are we supposed to do now?
Yeah,
I know, right?
Shout out to all the earners out here, man. We working on something for the earners exclusive. We working on an exclusive networking event just for earners.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can put that together before we leave Cali. So if you're in the Southern California area and you are in EYL University, we definitely, working on something for you guys for sure.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that pulled up on us. We
said my mic is low.
Turn your drain up over there.
Oh, you sound good.
Yes?
Yeah, you good, bro. Yeah, man. We was walking on Melrose up yesterday, and a couple of people stopped us in traffic, man. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting and telling a friend to tell a friend about the message of financial literacy. It's really life-changing. And I told y'all, the fuel is the people. And so every time somebody stops us to tell us an experience that they had when coming in contact with us or the information, it's really powerful. So keep fueling us. We're going to keep delivering. That's a fact.
Keep bringing that Troy joy, my guy. I'm gonna make you write that book, man. Oprah, please call Troy. Gail, somebody.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into it. We have a jam-packed week this week at Earn Your Leisure. Tomorrow, big episode for us. Shout out to my boy Buster.
Legend.
So we talk about sports cards. If anybody follow me, I brought my first sports card investment a few weeks ago. So he's talking about sports cards. He's talking about NFTs. He's talking about online marketing. So he has this site called Hoops Nation. 1 million followers on Instagram, 5 million followers on TikTok. He is the voice of the Crew League. If you watch Revolt's Crew League, he's actually the commentator of that. He's highly respected sports card collector, and he's big into NFTs, and he's 20 years old. So he's one of these guys that's like a whiz kid.
And
so
he's 20.
Yo, this kid is incredible.
Man.
Special.
Super smart. So that's interesting. That's a different asset class. Maybe we can talk about that on Market Mondays one day, but that's a whole different asset class within itself. Yeah. Sports memorabilia is huge. I mean, OJ went to jail for sports memorabilia.
Trying to get it back.
Yeah, that's a fact. They stole his
Never
jersey.
put all of your life at risk.
That's a fact.
Just want my football back. Shout out to the
Yeah, you got set up too.
Yeah. They got the boy.
But the sports memorabilia, I don't remember, I know when I was young, they used to have these things where it's like Joe Montana signing jerseys at like the county center. It's like everybody's
pulling up to that.
That kind of died down. I don't see that as much. I feel like that's not really happening as much, but the sports memorabilia is still as popular as it's ever been. And mixing it with NFTs, NBA Top Shot, something that we definitely have to talk about on Market Mondays, because that's something that's huge right now. Yeah. NBA Top Shot's killing it right now.
Yeah, it's about making the experience unique. And so rather than going to a physical place for you to meet and greet the person, now they'll sign it and give a piece of their jersey as part of the card. And so it makes it a really unique experience. We're definitely invested. I got my first shipment 2 weeks ago. I got a new shipment. I think I got some Jackie Robinson cards, some Mickey Mantle cards.
So you got a Mickey Mantle?
Yeah, man. I was a card collector. And then I
Yeah,
stopped.
I don't think people know your sports love.
Oh yeah,
So, yeah, it's right up your alley.
we love sports, man.
And we also Luka Doncic, his card sold for $4.2 million. That's his rookie card. That's the most ever paid for a sports card ever.
Basketball card. Mickey Mantle got the highest.
Okay.
Yeah, 5.3 million. Ridiculous number.
Yeah.
So Luka is in his third year in the NBA. But that's what I'm saying. That unique experience. I think he put a piece of his jersey and his signature, and it's part of the card.
And it's a one of one.
One of one is only one of them.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting episode. And then of course we back on Thursday with our boy John Henry, the legend himself.
Yeah, Wednesday too. We got Sabine coming on.
Oh, for EY University. Yeah, EY University. We got Sabine coming on. We got to cover all legal basis. And Thursday we back on YouTube with John Henry. So jam-packed week. Make sure you guys tap in, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. All right, Ian, let me just do a disclaimer. Can I do that?
Of course.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you know how this works. Do your own research. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. This is a message brought to you by the good folks at Earn Your Leisure and the good brother, Ian Dunlap, the master investor. Do your own research, do your own homework. It pays. I like that. It pays.
Yeah, that's hard. That's what ended. Yeah, well done. How you guys doing? Happy Monday. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's have some fun.
I got you.
That I appreciate it. All right, let me know if you guys can see my screen, and then I will get started. Yeah, we're gonna keep it quick, and then I want to come back to going over some prices and entries for you guys too. So, of course, Doge took off like crazy. So I want to walk you guys through the secrets of mastering the market, regardless if you're into crypto, long-term investing, futures. Let's get right into it. So you guys asked for entries for crypto. If that's something you guys are interested in, type yes in chat, and maybe we can cook something up for you. So if I can put this crystal ball and tie it to crypto and give you some entries. If that's something you want, let me know. And if you are an accredited investor, please let me know. Send me an email at ian@joinredpanda.com. I have something that I want to show you, something that we may be taking public. So yeah, send me a message there. Let's get right to it. The most important thing, and we talked about this endlessly, please write this down. I need you to hold for a 5-year period. That is the minimum time frame you need to hold if you want to get rich. So shout out to John, but if you held Ethereum for 5 years, you'll be up 273 grand. Bitcoin, 148,000. Shout out to Troy Rashad, who locked all of their Coinbase and every Binance account on earth and then came back to it and was up 97,000. But honestly, though, if you guys go look at that Fidelity strategy, the people who lock their accounts and don't open them, or unfortunately have passed on because they let the money sit, they have done a hell of a lot better. So, and kudos to my guy Dom. He's up a bunch, and some of his friends were as well. Shopify 41,000, Tesla 14,000. So can we all agree the 5-year period is the minimum time frame that you want to hold if you want to get rich? So 10,000 into Bitcoin 5 years ago will be 1.2, which is insane to think about. 10,000 in Tesla 5 years ago will be 149,524. Put yes in chat if you wish you would have had Tesla 5 years ago and put 10 grand into it. And this weekend, I was shout out to Wayno. I was talking to Wayno yesterday, and I brought up a point. Like, I want all my creatives and entertainers and artists to listen up. When you start breaking down the numbers for what the label deals were, and of course, X passed, and it made me think of Rough Riders, right? And it made me think of when I wish we could have got that Ja, DMX, and J album back in the day.
Murder Inc.
But man, that would have been legendary. But I was thinking, like, okay, great. What if certain artists don't make it, but what if all of them invested a certain amount of money? And in 2001, if Rockefeller had invested into Apple, now they have $2.86 billion. So for all my creatives, and I know everyone's like, yo, you don't know that Apple was going to be the predominant company. Yes, you did, because Steve Jobs tore apart the music industry by himself. single-handedly, and you guys let him. You killed Chris Sacco with Napster, but did the deal with Steve Jobs. God bless his soul. They knew that Apple was going to be the predominant player, but for whatever era that you're in. So shout out to the good people at Quality Control. If anybody who is listening that is an artist now, please tie your money to one of these major corporations that you are fighting, so you can get the money on the back end. The secret that I want to keep telling you guys is that they keep all the entertainers and all of us that are Black or Latino, and they'll tell us, hey, beef is okay. You don't have to partner, so then they can rob us blind while they're doing this. And Jay already made his billions, but he would have got there a hell of a lot faster. So these are the key lessons I want you to take away. And this applies to crypto as well. 1, you need to hold for 5 years if you want to be rich. 2, 10 years if you want to be free. 20 years if you want to be wealthy. Put 5, 10, and 20 in chat. I know some of you have flipped 500 and made, 72,000 off Doge. I'm proud of you. I will get to that later. But 5 years if you want to be rich. 10 if you want to be free. 20 if you want to be wealthy. Put generational wealth if you wish your grandparents knew to do this in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, and if it would have impacted your life positively. I saw this on Q's page. Like, look at the 20-year returns for Apple: 41,000%, Amazon 40,000, Nvidia 5,000%. The longer you hold, the better you'll do. And then Nike. We made Nike popular, buying all the resale J's and all the J's that got remixed and came out. We already know what to buy. We have the power inside of us just through the culture. So I want to walk you guys through 10 ways to be able to buy stocks, crypto, real estate, or any asset. Because I see some of you be like, hey, you guys do the show, but you don't tell us how to get in. Sorry if you didn't see the other 900 episodes I feel like we put out, but let me put it for you on one list. 1, use the 72 EMA. You can use this on TradingView, Thinkorswim, Ninja Trader, wherever. 72 period moving average. 2, 200 period moving average. Number 3, you can buy 50% off of the high, because all these indicators do is take a mathematical formula and apply them to the charts. You can do that with a calculator. Number 4, 80% from the high. Number 5, we haven't talked about this in detail, but averaging up in a winning position. So if you have a position that is winning already, to continuously to add to it. A lot of people will average down when they're losing. And I know some of you don't want to mess up your price basis, but if you are in an asset that is doing well, it would help you if you continue to add to it. For those of you that continuously bought GBTC past 2017 or Bitcoin past 2017, you were averaging up. Number 6, sniper setup. So for those in the sniper program, use that same setup for your long term. Write this down. Look at the day or the weekly chart to make your entry, right? Then we have the perfect setup. Number 8, this is really key. Triple EMA. So you can pair a 20 moving average with a 50 moving average and a 72 EMA. Number 9, a quintuple. So you can have a 200-day moving average, a 72, a 50, a 20, and a 10. Okay? And then the last way you can do it is off Fibonacci retracement. So just literally at the top, make it 100%. Your bottom is 0. The key levels to buy are at the 10% level and the 23.6 level and 50. Anything above that usually is too high if you want to have the best return absolutely possible. These are the type of assets that you want under your possession. And I won't read them all off, but some that are key. So hard cash is great that you can be able to invest. Endowment policies, we haven't talked about a lot. Number 9, land plots are very key. And the thing that I want you guys to be able to have is a fortress that protects you financially. It's not just having one thing. Residential property is key. Commercial, REITs, stocks, startup funding. If you guys are looking to get into that space, Jason Calacanis has a book called Angel that is pretty damn good that you should check out. Of course, stocks that we talk about all the time, ETFs, mutual funds, and then commodities like wheat, corn, gold, and of course, crypto. So let's get right to it. Doge. So Elon, April 15th at 12:33, talked about Doge and it sent it to the moon, right? And I want to go to a Doge chart real quick. So I want to, we'll get to that. So respectfully, right? Because we got to have a community conversation at some point, but shout out to the king. And we can see Doge took off to the upside. Great. I want you guys to type these in for exits. 500% and then 1000%. What I don't want to happen is this thing goes up to the moon, and then when it comes crashing to the ground, because this weekend when it dropped, some of you were calling like crazy, like, what do I do? What do I do? You have to have your plan beforehand. Now, of course, Doge is not back to anything, but if you have your money in it, of course, there's a little bit of euphoria that starts to kick in. I get it. Write this down. I have to know my exit before I enter my position. How many times have you been in a trade or been in an investment and you're asking other people, when do I get out? You have to have the exit in mind. Any business that you start, you have to know, when am I going to hang it up before you begin, right? For those of you that hit it big, great. I'm super proud of you and I'm glad. And I want to get to Mr. Respectfully's post, right? So this weekend, I reposted this and some of y'all went crazy. And the truth is, like, a lot of people are talking about the market, and I'm happy that we're getting in. So don't take it as me. A and B was a Friday. I thought the joke was funny, right? But the thing that I want to stress is that it says stock, not crypto. Secondly, I want you to do this. I want you to get out of your feelings and get on the charts. So if you got a win on Doge, amazing. I'm happy for you. I want you to get your coins. I only want you to know, no matter what happens, because Elon, of course, is a great catalyst. But if that's the only catalyst that you have for getting into it, if the thing falls back 80%, what are you going to do? For those of you that are up 1,000%, I want you to start to mark off if it drops down and you're only up 500 to start to liquidate. And then for those of you that are up 500 to get out at 250% return, and you'll be good. So this is the blueprint I want you to use, even for crypto. Screenshot this. Same setup, 72 EMA with the 200. Now, the great thing about crypto, because it moves so fast, you need to go to a lower time frame to be able to catch it. So 1 hour is great. Anything lower than 1 hour, you're going to be jumping in too much. To get context, what time frame do I want you to use? It's the one that I always tell you to go to first. Please type it in chat. Start there, then look week, then look day, then look at 1 hour. Then you can plot where you're going to get in. You don't want to get caught up chasing and holding the bag because somebody said that you should have it. 200 EMA, same thing. 5-year month first, then week, then day, then hour. That's your progression. If you believe in an asset, I don't care what anyone says, including me. If you believe in an asset, hold it. Because I was talking about futures and believing in futures before anybody of RQ was talking about it. And how you guys feel about crypto, I feel about futures because it pays way more than everything else. 5x growth is when to exit. 10x growth is when you definitely should exit. But here's what I want you to know. The hedge funds running this shit up too, like how they did GameStop. So go look. Because now, and we'll talk about it later, the reason that the prices of real estate and is going up, and I talked about this in the stock club of Red Panda, hedge funds are buying all of these properties and pushing these values up. You think nationwide during a pandemic and a slow crisis recession that people have enough money to bid $30,000 and $50,000 over market price? No, there is no more asymmetric risk to reward that is great in the stock market, and now they're going to real estate to get the gains. Be careful, because when you get caught holding that real estate bag, you're going to be crying. And then same thing too in crypto. They're the reason that the market is going up, respectfully. Number 8, if you really love it, then buy it every month. I don't care what I say, what Troy says, Rashad says, all of the investment that you're making any business, if you truly believe in it, buy it every month, build your base, accumulate the asset every month. And for those of you that are in real estate, look at these shares as doors. So the more doors or more stocks that you can have paired together, the better you'll do. To all my creatives, artists, and entrepreneurs, I need to tell you this. Invest 50% of your income, or you're going to die a slow, grueling death. Let's be honest. Your clients, customers, and fans don't give a damn about you. They love you now. Everybody loved Shmurda when he came home. And then his bay got revealed. No one loves Shmurda as much anymore.
What happened?
Nah, he said it wasn't his, man. That's
he said it wasn't his girl, but you know, he had a
He got like 4 pictures with her, right?
What happened? What happened?
Yeah, he had a queen that was holding him down while he was in. She wasn't of our hue.
What, he had a Caucasian sister?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't even hear about that. I ain't see about that.
And
she was on the sprinter that he had when he came home.
Shout out to Bobby Shmurda, man. He's actually a good guy. I saw his interview. I saw his interview with Mano, and you can tell he really has his head on his shoulders. He was speaking a lot of positivity. I didn't hear about this situation.
He just kept it 1,000 and said, yeah, but I get the perception. And then also too, fans, if you love somebody, how can you then turn your back if you say, yo, he's solid, and then turn your back? But that's why I tell you, you have to, my dad used to always tell me, protect yourself at all times. Anything can go wrong. So he better get on the line with Mustard or somebody real quick and come out with a slap. Otherwise, cancel culture.
Yeah, but he said, you know what's interesting about him? I mean, he's 26 years old, so still a very young man. But he said the number one thing he's doing right now is looking into real estate. He's working on music, but the real estate is what he was studying while he was in prison. So hopefully, we can get him on and he can talk.
He's good.
Shout out to Smurda, man. Kids,
man. He a good kid.
Yeah, good guy. He's a good guy, man.
So, and I don't want to get into the whole relationship, whether he should, that's none of my business. But for my creatives, what I want to tell you, when you're at the mercy of the people, what Jay said, same sort they night you with, they're going to good night you with. That's only half if they like you. Protect yourself. And here's the thing. Notice no music labels, no movie houses went out of business because they was investing in buying up real estate and buying crypto and investing and buying stocks. You have to protect yourself even from the fan base that you have built, because at some point your fan base will turn on you. And I got to say this too. With all y'all entertainers, with all these big ass followings, stop beefing. Because only in our community will we beef with each other and not have the financial freedom that we want. But if we can partner together, we probably can buy some big ass. Like if I can get 8 of us together, we can probably buy SoundCloud or something and make billions in a year. But everybody want to beef for clicks and likes. And then you turn around and get canceled. And our culture, I want us to stop beefing and focus on the thing that matters the most: freedom and solidarity. So here's a 10-step blueprint to mastering the market. Number 1, I said it before, 2 hours a day on the chart. For my fellas, there is no thing as unconditional love for us. It's a fallacy. Once you go through puberty, that unconditional love goes out the window. Shout out to my mama. Sorry for the times I ain't take out the trash and I was supposed to. I'll do it all over again. I'm sorry. Love you. 200 pages per day reading. For those of you that want to master investing, you're not going to master this shit by looking on Instagram. I'm going to be real with you. Number 3, master one setup. I don't care. I don't like RSI, but if RSI is part of your setup, master it. Look at 1,000, 2,000 charts and know when, if it's at 70, if it truly is going to drop, or if it's 30, it's going to go above. You probably should adjust your settings to 95 and 5 instead. That's more reliable. But master one setup. Number 4, 300 practice trades. How many of you wish last year you would have practiced more and did 300 trades, and now your actual trades would be a lot more profitable? Because guess what happened? Market conditions change. The market is drier now, and everybody's rotating a lot faster. And they're not telling you when they're rotating. They're telling you after the fact. And now you're getting slapped, but they've already profited. Number 5, please write this down. This is key. Trade selection is more important than asset allocation in your long term. Even if you pick bad stocks, like I don't like Ford, but if you hold on to Ford long enough, you may eke out 15% out of it. You take 9 or 10 bad trades, I don't care what asset you're trading, and you're using leverage, you can destroy your entire account and never tie your long-term assets in with your trading money. That's the quickest way to, I've seen people burn through 12 and 13 years worth of gains in a quarter doing so. Number 6, 4 stocks for long term. Number 7, 24 swing trades max per year. So that's 2 per month. That's all you need. 24 intraday trades if you're trading futures, because most are undisciplined. And shout out to the snipers and the dream team. If you guys took 24 trades per year, how many would you win? Put it in chat. And if that number is above 20 or at 20, why the hell would you take more? Ego. Number 9, this is key. You need to have asymmetric risk to reward ratio that is skewed so far in your favor, it damn near feels nefarious in nature, but it isn't. Like you need to have a risk to return ratio that is so high it damn near feels illegal. You want to risk 1 to make 50. So those of you that are in Doge, like you're up so much, it almost feels like it's too good to be true, right? That's what you need to start to take profit. But 1 or 2 of those in your lifetime can help change the trajectory of your family. And then 10, for my traders who really want to master this. So this is one of my keys that I did that I've never told nobody about. Every Sunday, Thinkorswim will put out new indicators. Go learn how to use every indicator on every platform that you use. See, you can't talk your way through that. So go look at everyone. For those of you that are quiet killers, like Troy, because every time I call him, his ass be on the charts. I'm like, bro, when do you sleep? Good God. Go study every indicator, and then you'll see how to use them. And then even if your primary setup loses its edge, you can then turn around and be able to dominate in the market. Last year we talked about this, and I want to remind you again, just because the world is opening back up, do not lose sight of this. You need 60 months to save. And a shout out. Thank you guys for the shout out in Black Enterprise.
Yeah.
Kudos to Selena.
Salute.
And this one, for those of you who are like, that's just unrealistic for anybody Black, it punched me in the gut too when I heard it. And I told you the guy showed me the money in his business account and his personal account. It changed the way I looked at life. He was like, if a recession lasted 5 years, like, I'll be okay. I know at some point in 5 years, I'll be able to make some money. So you need a level of security. And some of you are asking, is it liquid? Should it be an investment? It needs to be able to be liquid, but you can have it in stocks. That is the form of liquidity. You'll be fine. I know for those of you who are not there yet, I'm going to be real. All the financial people that had TV shows and books that told you 3 to 6, when I talked to them privately, they had damn near 80 months. There's a difference between information that is sold so you can buy the product versus what they're actually doing. I'm not going to pile on Dave because Grant did that enough, right? But Dave Ramsey has more than 3 to 6 months of liquidity just in case some shit happens. Real quick on the esoteric. So if you look at the gains leading up to the moon cycles, go Google it. The gains are a little bit higher leading. So for those of you who want like a 2 or 3% edge, you can look at the calendar. Even in Thinkorswim, they do have the moon cycles in there. You can look and tie it with your technical indicators to get a 2 to 3% slighter edge. For those of you that work in hospitals, you already know you get a little bit of craziness going on around the time when we have full moons and leading up to it. And this does have an effect on a stock market. Secondly, the number of pyramids that are present on Earth. You should go Google what that number is. You can use that number as a target for the Dow and NASDAQ, and it's an easy target to hit. Your stop loss should be the same. Once it gets halfway there, you can lock in 20 ticks and let it run. Go do your homework and see how many pyramids are there on Earth. Please let me know. And then last, buying stocks at the close will give you an edge opposed to buying at the open. So if you wait to the end of day, and then for those of you that have access and you can see when hedge funds are buying towards the close. So for those of you that trade the NASDAQ future or the Dow or ES, you'll often see midday will slump down and then end of day will pop up higher. That is a lot of buying at the end. You should probably be buying your stocks that you want in your long-term portfolio at end of day opposed to open, so you're not having that drawdown. And lastly, buy midweek during deep crashes. That will give you a percentage edge opposed to buying on Monday and Friday, because Mondays and Fridays have the highest probability of going up. Tuesdays and Wednesdays typically are lows. You should buy middle of week and you'll be good. And then crypto also has a cycle for when you should be buying, and it's not Monday and Friday. Look midweek or look on the weekend to be able to get an edge. So take this, run with it, execute. I want us to be rich. I want us to be wealthy. In 10 years, I want all of you that are watching to be millionaires from some of the insights that we've given you here, but that will only be a reality if you execute. That is it. I love y'all.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
That was a lot, man. I actually took a few notes there, and I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people who are trading crypto are looking at the weekly chart, or they're looking at the monthly chart or the year.
It may not ever drop there.
And the space moves so fast. I'm glad you said that you should switch over to the hour. At the most, maybe 3 or 4 hours, because
4 hours nice.
Yeah, it just moves so fast. Like you can miss something. Like we saw over the weekend, Dogecoin get down to 25, and it was like, whoa. If you look at the weekly chart, it's just like you're gonna miss that. You know what I mean? The buy signal might not be there for you. So I'm glad you said that.
Thank you.
And then that RSI little piece that you threw in, even though you didn't like it, that 95 to 5, whew, that's pretty good. So that's the spread of overbought to oversold. So a lot of people are like, what does that mean? Overbought to oversold. So the 95 would be obviously overbought, and the 5 would be oversold. So those are good places to get into companies. I was doing that's pretty tough, man. I was doing 80-20. If it hit that 20 line, I'm like, all right, this is a good spot to get it.
Imagine hit that 5 though.
If it hit the 5, now that's super there. Yeah.
Load the boat. And then shout out to everybody in Red Panda. Also too, when you got, I don't want you guys to look at volume, but if you do, you should probably put Fibonacci retracements over the volume, so you can see when there's peak cycles and bust cycles in the volume as well. That'll also give you an indication to buy. But
That's
what do I know?
Let's talk about this a little bit before we go.
My guy ready to skedaddle right now.
Nah.
Where you going, Santa Monica?
Show's over, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, let's wrap it up.
Guys.
John Henry Thursday.
Pull the car up.
I know, right?
So Dogecoin. Let's just talk about this a little bit because it's the elephant in the room. I'm glad you spoke about it during your presentation. And we're gonna talk about Safe Moon also.
Oh yeah.
So all right, this Dogecoin situation, unavoidable at this point. It is quickly becoming bigger and bigger. It seems like every day.
It's passing multi-billion-dollar companies every day.
Top 10 crypto market cap.
Number 5.
Yep.
Okay. So we spoke about.
What's the reason it's going on?
We spoke about Doge a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Got a clip on it on YouTube. So let's revisit this conversation for all the people that say, you don't talk about Dogecoin. So, all right. How do we feel about Dogecoin?
Can we first say congratulations to the people who have made money?
Congratulations.
I'm proud of y'all.
That's one thing. That's one thing. Like, people is weird. Like, it's like
you're not gonna build your brand off talking shit about us.
Well, it's not even. It's like sometimes people will be like they'll make money and then be like, anybody that didn't get in Doge, y'all just hate. I'm never gonna be mad at somebody for making money. We created the platform.
As long as it's legal.
Yeah. We created the platform for people to make money. So I respect everything. I respect anything that you're gonna do to make money as long as it's legal. You're not screwing nobody over. So kudos to everybody out there that's made money on Doge.
They were like, I told you, I got my whole kids' college tuition. I'm like, yo, I'm happy for you.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Man.
Like, you made some money. Like,
but depending on what brokers you use, some of you are now having issues liquidating the 150 that you made.
They chopping your Wi-Fi up a little bit, Ian. But we'll make it work. Okay, so Dogecoin. It started off as a joke. Everybody knows. Well, maybe everybody doesn't know the story, but the Dogecoin actually started off as a joke. And it actually had a run even like years ago. I remember in 2018, something like that. They were talking about Doge, and they were saying it was a joke, and it was like doing well at that time relative to how it actually debuted. So Dogecoin is not new. Dogecoin has actually had runs before. It's just that this is like the bigger run, and
the biggest.
You know, you obviously got Elon Musk for some reason that's fascinated with Doge. It's interesting to see what his fascination with Doge is. But that's actually helped a lot, obviously. So the thing about the crypto space is that there's still a lot of coins that really have no use case, including Bitcoin. Shout out to Hill Harper. We met with him yesterday.
We said that. So yeah, that's dope. We said that last week and we actually met him yesterday.
Yeah, shout out to Hill. We're working on something big too, Ian. So I'll let you know.
We're gonna call you after this.
So we was talking yesterday and I'm like, well, because he's an enthusiast for Bitcoin. And I'm like, Bitcoin really doesn't. I'm invested in Bitcoin myself. And I said, but Bitcoin doesn't really have any use case. He said, well, gold doesn't have any use case. If you really think about it, what's the use case for gold? Outside of wearing it as jewelry, it's a store of value. It's somewhere to put money instead of, fiat currency. And I said, yeah, you're right. If you think about it like that. So it was like, as far as, I say that to say, Dogecoin, from my understanding, doesn't really have a use case.
At all.
Something doesn't need a use case to go up in value. Even art. Yeah. You can make the same comparison about art. Yeah. So could it potentially keep going up? Of course, because human emotion and the markets move. However, we see this with GameStop. Whatever people want, if enough people want it to go up, it's going to continue to go up. The problem with this, and the same thing with Safe Moon. Once again, Safe Moon, if you're making money on it, congratulations. But I think we have to have a certain level when you're talking about things, you have to be cautious because you don't want to lead sheep to the slaughterhouse. Yeah. And at least me personally, I never want to be responsible for somebody losing their life savings or losing their money just because I'm just promoting on something that doesn't really have any usage. Safe Moon was just created 3 months ago, has really no use case. And it's like, okay, it's going up. So cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if Safe Moon went away tomorrow, would the world change? Would anything be affected? So what I'm saying by this is just be intelligent. investing isn't gambling, but it can become synonymous with gambling when you apply gambling principles.
Yeah.
And when you just invest in something just because it's going up, that's not really the best way to go about it. But you can make money doing that. But I'm just not comfortable promoting something like that because I can't justify, other than saying it's going up right now, I can't justify
rationale
why it's going up.
Yeah, I think and Ian, I think you said this, and I'm sure you have. There's a difference between an investment and a trade.
Yeah, so it's a great trade.
Right, so it's a great trade, right? If you can put money in something and it goes 2,000% in 2 months, that's a great trade. Is it a great investment? I don't think so, right? And that's why we won't say that, hey, you should go after that. We're saying if you're making money, great. Make sure you know your exit points. But the thing with the difference between Bitcoin, which we said has no purpose really, right? We don't have a fundamental use for it. And Dogecoin, which also has no fundamental use, is that Bitcoin has a limited supply. And so Dogecoin has no limited supply. It's 129 billion coins.
But even Ethereum doesn't have a limited supply though.
It has a usage though, right? So that it changes.
There's a use case for it. Yeah. And then also too, like,
yeah, go ahead. Now I was gonna say, so it's 5, but they have 129 billion coins. They're producing 5 billion every year. And what's the purpose of it? Right. So it's tough for me to really invest in something I don't really understand. And so if people are making money, great. I'm just on the sideline thinking, okay, well, hopefully people don't get burned. And if they make money, they'll take it out and hopefully do the right thing with it. Invest in something that they get fundamental understanding of.
Yeah. Can we tell the truth about what's going on?
Go ahead.
I mean, look, man, most people that are in the investing industry, there are some that are great. And we talked about them before. Ackman, Simons, Howard Marks, AQ Capital. There's a few that are like legendarily amazing in terms of performance. So when the Winklevoss twins got pushed out of Facebook because they got robbed by Zuckerberg, they were the one who started to push for Bitcoin. And they're the one who got everyone involved on the institutional side. Then it got discovered that the hedge funds were not working as hard as everyone thinks. And everyone's like, hey, if I'm getting better returns, why turn my money over to them? And then Bitcoin began to ran off. And we talked about it last year. Like if Bitcoin got institutional adoption, it would take off like crazy. I think we talked about this last October or September. And now that the gains are there, everyone's trying to run up to offset the losses, and they are trying to keep themselves from losing clients. Don't you guys think it's interesting on Monday and Fridays when funds are typically reporting to clients, or end of quarter or top quarter, the market is going up like crazy? Then middle of week or middle of quarter, we're sliding down for a long period of time. I want you guys to be able to see every part of the game so you don't get used. So if you're making money on a trade, I'm not mad at it. I'm happy for you. I want you to get your money. But all this is happening because it got exposed that hedge funds, prop firms, and managers were not producing returns and were not even trying to get better returns for people. And then once that lid got taken off, they're trying to catch up. So now that they miss Bitcoin, they're running to everything else to prop the market up. And what's not being talked about is these gains are being printed really fast because the market is not driving the value that it should. And then the job market is not as good as it should be. So I'm in New York City right now. I've never seen the city look more dry than it does now. But if you looked at the market, you wouldn't be able to tell. So if I get you to focus on this hand, but I'm robbing you here with the job market, and then when we have another recession in 2027, I think the job market will be done. And we will go to even, I mean, I put it up today, but like with the thing I told you guys about, like the no email thing, Cal Newport is really going to push for tech companies to not do any email at all. Then it's going to be a very hard line of performance-based KPIs that are ridiculous to maintain, so they can fire you and then push automation even heavier. Please be careful. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is people I'm talking to in tech that are telling me this shit. So be careful. For those of you that are in your trades, know when you're going to get out and when to take profit, because I don't want you to be up 200 grand and then in 6 months you're down 30. It can happen. Be careful. Mm-hmm. That is the truth about what's really going on. So I think it's dope that everybody's running up and it's to the moon and everybody's high-fiving. Great. But we had a huge drawdown on Saturday. Thank God it recovered. Mm-hmm. But what if we went through a drawdown period for 3 months? Most people would be wiped out, but the hedge funds would be taking profit before it gets there. Use those markets of 5x and 10x to be able to get out. And go look at what the price of Dogecoin was in January compared to where it is now. You'll see what the multiple was. All the hedge funds getting out of one place.
You said a drawdown for 3 months. Try 3 years. We were in this thing in 2017. And we watched our accounts get slaughtered, but you know what? We just said, "All right,
I ain't opened up my Coinbase for a year and a half.
We're gonna stay here."
Did I talk about that last time?
Yeah, you mentioned it. You can talk about it again. I just want last thing on Dogecoin. So Ian, this is crazy. So think about this, right? Its market cap is over like 60 billion right now, right? So it's worth right now. It's worth more than Walgreens. It's worth more than Las Vegas Sands, and it's worth more than CrowdStrike. Right now, with no purpose. Interesting stuff.
No, I didn't talk about VET last time. I talked about VET in my financial planning call. University.
Yeah.
So, the power of buy and hold. So, if anybody knows my story about crypto, Binance, when they stopped their access to America, and I couldn't move my coins off, and I kind of just kept them there. And I'm not locked out, but I just can't move my coin. I just gotta, take some time to actually move them off. But long story short, in 2017, I got a lot of these altcoins, and the vast majority, well, not the vast, a lot of them, I lost everything on. A lot of them went to zero. That's why when they talk about these safe moons and all of that, like I've actually been through this before. Like I've seen coins go to zero. It's not hypothetical. I actually saw it happen, and I lost money myself. But that's why I said I'm not going to lead uneducated, vulnerable investors into a position where they can get taken advantage of. But it's not really too much to talk about with the safe coins of the world. Like if you want to buy it, it's no technical analysis. It's no analysis that we can't give you a fundamental breakdown of it. It's like, hey, buy it. If it goes up, great. If not, just, hold your shirt. Long story short,
don't lose your shirt.
The power of buy and hold. So I forgot. So I went into Binance and I had like 5 times more money than I had 2 months ago. And I'm like, yo, where did all this money come from? So I had a lot of coins that went up in value, but VET, V-E-T, VeChain.
VeChain, yep.
Who knew? I had 23,000 VeChain coins. I didn't even know. I didn't even realize I was actually holding the coins. I got like $6,000 in VeChain. It was crazy. It was up like 40% one day. Yeah. So when Doge and all these other coins was going up, VeChain was going up crazy, like 40% one day, 30% one day. And I'm like, I just got a random $6,000 and 23,000 VET coins. But the moral of the story is that sometimes you never know. I never sold it. I held it from 2017, forgot about it. I actually literally forgot about it. Yeah. Went into my Binance. And what do you know?
Yeah. Over the past 3 months, it's up 614%. Surprise.
Sometimes you never know.
Yeah, and then if you guys just take the top 5 that you love the most in crypto and hold them, you can essentially make a makeshift ETF and just hold. The principles I know I only go over long-term investing. That's also for risk mitigation on the legal side too. Use the strategy and apply it to everything else. So even in neighborhoods, like for those of you in real estate, look at that building the top 4 in crypto. It's like comps. So if you take the top 4 and you hold them for a 5-10 year period, and the great part about real estate investors, they already know this. When it comes to trading and investing, they trick all the traders into doing short-term positions for higher commissions for the company. Like you guys have to be able to see every part of the game because everybody has an agenda, even me. I just want to help you guys win so much that if I decide to run for president of Mars or something, you'll vote for me. I did right by you on Earth, and we'll be good on Mars. Let me know.
You're going there with space as
like make your own makeshift ETF, invest in 4, hold them. Like I know buy and hold isn't sexy, but that is done intentionally. Like I was telling Wayno when I was talking to him yesterday, like everything that is exciting to us, guns, drugs, entertainment, football, relatively makes no money. The things that are boring, venture capital, angel investing, stock market, commercial real estate, plots of land, they tell us it's boring and all the wealth is there. You think that's accidental? Got to see behind the curtain and see the other side of the game.
Yes. And one last word about crypto is dollar cost averaging. There's one thing we talked about with Hill Harper yesterday. It was like, if every black family puts $5 a day into Bitcoin, he had like this whole formula that he was like, it could like raise the black wealth by like 60 billion or something. He had a whole formula.
It would be
the great presenter.
The greatest gainer of wealth in the history of mankind for black people.
That's something that I don't think you can dollar cost average with crypto. And you buy a certain amount every single month, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever you believe in, but just buy it because over the course, Bitcoin, I'm on the record.
quality ones.
Bitcoin will be $250,000 within the next couple of years. High probability. He actually broke it even down. Even like Bitcoin is going to get so high at one point, it's really going to be Satoshis. Satoshis is like fractions of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And that's what people are really going to, that's the use case even more than actual Bitcoins, because once Bitcoin is like 500,000, it's like, people ain't really going to be looking at it like that. It's really just going to be like gold. He actually brought up a lot of good analogies where it's like a brick of gold. At one point, we actually used to look at a brick of gold. How much is a brick of gold worth? But now, once the brick of gold got so out of touch for most people financially, now we measure gold by ounces. Mm-hmm. So now you go by the ounce of gold. So his theory is that once Bitcoin reaches, 6 figures, 500,000, we're going to use Satoshis to really, we're going to talk about Satoshis more than we talk about Bitcoin. The same way we talk about ounces of gold more than we talk about a brick of gold.
Yeah. So each Bitcoin will have, like, I think he said something like 1 million Satoshis inside. So I think the supply was up to 18, almost 19 million. Is that the number for Bitcoin? I believe so. And so inside that, you're going to have Satoshis coming from it. So he said actually he went higher than 250.
He said 500,000.
500,000, man.
Over what, a 10-year period?
Well, yeah, eventually. Well, I say 250 like within the next
4 years.
Yeah.
But it definitely gonna hit. Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things where there's no stopping.
Can't stop it. The train is at the station.
And especially if on a consumer side, like if there aren't any gains and people are not settling for 7 to 12%, and you need like a ironclad asset that's going to drive, like, that's going to be the predominant player. Like Bitcoin is like the Dow of crypto. So it's the safest thing, more institutional buy-in. I can see that, but you guys got to be careful. And I know we always say do your own research, but master this. I know some of you got other jobs and stuff, but you have to put the time. This is the most important job that you have.
Hey, real quick.
He said, just real quick. He said another thing about Bitcoin that was interesting, where it's like, a lot of fear has always been government regulation, and it's like governments can shut it down, governments can stop it, and that's what happened in 2018, and that really hurt the market. But he was explaining to us how in Nigeria Bitcoin is illegal, but in Nigeria Bitcoin is selling for 89,000. That's another thing too. People don't realize Bitcoin is different. They have different prices depending on where you are in the world. Mm-hmm. So in Nigeria, Bitcoin is selling for $89,000, even though it's outlawed by the government. You can't stop it. Governments can't stop it. And the reason why it's selling for 89,000 is because it's outlawed. So it's even harder. But governments can't stop it. Nothing can stop crypto.
Peer-to-peer transaction.
Nothing can stop crypto, and nothing can stop Bitcoin. Yeah. I'm on the record of saying that.
Yeah, I just want a quick shout out, really quick, because I was actually in our crypto class. Shout out to everybody in EYL University and everybody that was in the crypto class. Big shout out to Alistair. I watched this gentleman teach. He broke down like even how to make interest off of investing in crypto, which was fascinating. And I had known about Pancake, CAKE is the ticker. But the way he broke it down was incredible. Like you can make interest off of owning the asset. And so that's a whole different game. It was an advanced conversation, and I was just happy to be part of it. So shout out to Alice. I just want to give him his props.
I remember we had that conversation with Jason Lewis in 2017 when he was saying, because that's what I was talking about, like Bitcoin, like what's the, like, you have all these Bitcoins, but what are you going to do? I'm not selling Bitcoin because I think it's going to go up in value, but the lending. And that's what he was talking. And that's what Hill Harper was talking about with Mike Novacek, Novogratz. Is a Bitcoin billionaire.
One of the three.
He's a Bitcoin billionaire, and there's only a few of them in America. Remember, I said that. You don't know who I know.
GBTC. For those of you that are looking at the stock, 37.77 is not a bad place to get in. On the house. We set it dependent order. You'll be good.
All right.
The crystal ball's coming out,
We have talked about crypto. I hope you guys are happy. We have.
And for those of you who are gonna watch later, I'm not changing my stance on anything. The thing that I want to show you is how to invest in everything. I don't care if it's wheat, corn, palladium, platinum, cornmeal, donkey hooves. You should know how to price and plot it and know what the overall market value or market cap of it is, and know how to be able to extrapolate money out of it. Because what if a market does get locked up? So I want you to be able to show you how to work your way through anyone. But yeah, let's get to it. And then for those, shout out to everybody that's going to ask questions. You probably should ask about some stocks and entries, because y'all didn't do that last week, and I was ready to go crazy. So
precursor.
Can we talk about Netflix?
Yeah. We're gonna talk about it in the earnings report, but yeah, everybody knows that I'm bullish on Disney, just because of everything they represent prior to Corona, but even more so with the streaming service. And so tomorrow Netflix is going to be reporting, and I read an interesting article about consolidation in the streaming service industry. And so they said about 37% of people are now ending their subscriptions because the space has gotten so large. And so you got Amazon Prime, you got Disney, you got Peacock, HBO Max, Apple TV. And interestingly enough, Netflix is about to report that they're going to have 6 million new subscribers for the first quarter, which is less than half. Think about this, less than half than they had last year. So they had 15.8 million people subscribed. This year they're doing about 6 million. And so that's an interesting look at what's happening in the streaming space. I'm very interested to see what Netflix does. I still believe in it. I still believe them and Disney obviously are the 1 and 2 in the space. But that
HBO Max making it hard.
The HBO Max, Amazon Prime is making it hard. Have you watched them?
No.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah.
What is it? What's it called?
Them?
Yeah, I couldn't.
What's it about?
The plight.
The plight.
The plight of what? Black people?
Yeah. Jordan Peele did it. So there's always lessons inside.
Shout out to Jordan Peele. He's a legend.
Yeah, that's on Amazon Prime. But all these streaming services have came into the space, and now Netflix, which was so far ahead, 10, 12 years ahead of them, the subscriptions have dwindled a little bit. So I'll be interested to see what their earnings are. What's your thoughts, Ian?
They're faced with a bunch of competition. It's no different than any other service. And I put it earlier, like the ultimate competitive advantage that you can have is having no competition. So you can build a base and end up being a pioneer in the space and end up not being the one who gets the lion's share of the market. They'll be great. I mean, like my long target for Netflix is 761.05 in 3 years. So they'll be okay, but they have some serious pressure. I mean, like Netflix is like Drake, but Disney looking like Lil Baby. So there's a lot of competition that they're going to face, and they're going to give up. And now, if they have half the subscriber base and they adjust prices, maybe they can do something. But man, the amount of debt they have taken on to make original content, that I think will be the thing that eventually will take them down. Because if people don't know, it wasn't Netflix alone that put Blockbuster out of business. It was the debt that Blockbuster had that allowed Netflix to be able to come in and then take that space. That's why even in business, I'm like, no debt is amazing. And I know Grant like, yo, debt, okay, I get it. But some of the biggest businesses have gotten taken over or overrun, or corporate takeovers have happened because there was too much debt on the balance sheets. And that's what killed Blockbuster. So it would be kind of interesting, or a little bit of karma if they died the same fate and got put out of business for the same reason that Blockbuster did. So
I stand corrected. I said Jordan Peele, lean away.
Jordan Peele did not.
He didn't do it.
Did not.
1,000%
did not
lean
direct
away.
that. Shout out to her.
Shout out to the Shy, another one of her great shows.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, man. But it's the story about a family. I don't want to give everything away, but they moved to Compton, and so we think of Compton present day. It was like predominantly Black families. We think of obviously the great people who've come from Compton, but it's interesting to see the dynamics of how they've painted Compton in the early 20s. And so it's a tough watch, but an interesting watch nonetheless.
There you have it.
Yeah. You know what, Ian, and to add to what you said about Netflix, they're trying to change up. So like you said, they had to lease a lot of their content early on. They're trying to make new original content. I think that one of the things they're going to do now is try to make weekly original content, which is something that they hadn't done. They would put seasons out, you watch them, and then you have to wait for the next show to come out.
Smart.
And so one of those things that they're trying to do is a weekly original. So we'll see. They got to keep up. Disney's not playing. And Hulu, obviously, Hulu, Roku, all these other services as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop with these safe moon questions, huh? It's get rich quick. I mean, it's one of these things that it appeals to human nature. Everybody wants to get rich quick. And you can. And that's it. It's one of these things. Everything's funny until it's not.
What questions they have about it?
It's no question. It's no questions to have. Only question is should you? Is it going to a cent? Should I get it? That's it. That's the only question. There's no question. There's no question that you can ask because there's nothing that nobody's asking. What does the coin do? What's the white paper? If you are invested in cryptocurrency and you don't know what white papers are, you should not be invested in cryptocurrency. You're gambling. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Sometimes you only learn through losing.
No, but these are the things that nobody's going to tell you.
Oh yeah.
These are the things that nobody's going to tell you. Like they'll tell you just buy Safecoin.
It's like when our parents would be like, don't hang out with Ray because, and then we hang out and be like, dang, mom, you were right. Like sometimes for me, all the best lessons that I got about investing came from me making dumb decisions and then writing them down and be like, dear Heavenly Father, I swear if you let me out of this trade, I'll never do this again. Then I do it 3 weeks later and be like, Lord, I know what I said, forgive me. But sometimes it takes that misery and heartbreak. And I don't want you guys to gamble, but sometimes these lessons won't resonate until you actually lose. And it's unfortunate. I mean, but you have to go do the homework. Like if you go look, yeah, I mean, it's on the same kind of tear. And could it get to 1 cent? Yes. But looking at the chart now, you have to go see who is moving. Okay, put this in. I want you guys to answer this. What is the reason that Safe Moon is going up? And who is the hedge fund that is benefiting the most from Safe Moon rising right now?
Somebody answer that for us, please.
That'll tell you when to get in and when to get out. You have to know everything and every action that any human takes financially, it benefits somebody. So you have to know who the players are that are going to benefit to also know when you can exit. Don't chase just to be chasing, but you can do whatever you want. That's a great part about investing. You can do whatever you choose.
You want to talk about white paper?
Man, those are hard stories. Yeah, so white paper is pretty much the instructions. Like if you think about it, like when you open a package or you buy something that you have to build, there are instructions on how to do it. And so the white paper is that for the cryptocurrency space. It tells you the functionality, it tells you the purposes, it tells you the team who's built it, it tells you the circulating supply, it tells you all the things you need to know about the coin.
It's really great if you like to read, because like even stocks a lot of times don't have that much information, and they're like really compact. Like they'll have the team. Sometimes they even have pictures. Like this is the team behind the project. This is what the project seeks to accomplish. This is how many coins are in circulation. Gives you pretty much all the information that you need about a cryptocurrency. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't even know what that is, and it's no shame. I mean, we all come from a certain level of ignorance, and we are coming into knowledge.
And we're still ignorant each day. Like we have to learn.
Yeah, but the worst thing in the world is prideful ignorance. Prideful ignorance is extremely dangerous because when you have prideful ignorance, that's when you think you know something that you don't really know, and you're gonna hurt yourself. But hey, who am I?
If you guys go look,
somebody said where can you find the white paper? And so we were using this app Crypto Pro. And so like if you go on Crypto Pro, you click on the asset, there's like these 3 little bars inside of it. It'll tell you, it'll have like address calculator and it'll tell you white paper. And so you can go there. Sometimes you can get these things and read them before there's an ICO. And so that's always interesting because these coins really sound like this thing could change the future. And so we've read a lot of them, like a lot. Y'all know what I'm talking about, do your homework. Like I'm a lot, keeping me up all night reading. I'm like, this can change the world. This is going to change everything in any industries. I remember there was one in the medical field that I was just like, I got to get behind this. It was Medicoin, and I'm like, I'm doing this. 2 months later, bye-bye. It was gone. So you got to be careful, but do your due diligence.
For my traders that are super serious, go to that all-time chart, or since inception, as Rashad referred to it. Put on a 23.6, so go from high to low, and then also they have fib extensions. So if you go look on TradingView, when you have a thing called fib extensions, those give you your targets. So one target you can use very easily is the 423.6. That'll give you a multiple of 4.236. That'll tell you when to get out, so you're not gambling. You have to wait for it to come down to your area. Now, if we put the high at 100%, the low at 0. Once we get past 261%, you have to wait for the market to pull back. It is too high. That is like you paying $150,000 for a house that's valued at 160. A lot of it is just knowing what to get in on a price basis and holding for a long period of time. But I hope it helps.
And SafeMoon actually has penalties for leaving early too, so that's something that you should be aware of.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So
can I do the earnings report?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So this earnings report too was brought to you by Ladder. I tell everybody when I was 26 years old, my best friend in life made a decision for me. He said, you need to sit down, you need to get life insurance. I remember the day Shadi and his father sat down with me, and it was a powerful decision. And one of the things they told me was life insurance is not for the people who die, it's for the people who live. So on that note, it makes sense why people get into life insurance, especially term coverage, which is surprisingly affordable. Why not pay a bit a month to protect the ones you love. If you're asking yourself this question, choose Ladder. Ladder makes it impressively fast and easy to get covered. No hidden fees, cancel anytime. And since life insurance costs more as you age, now's the time to cross it off your list. So check out Ladder today if you're and get instantly improved. Go to ladderlife.com/Market Mondays. That's Ladder, LADDER, life.com/Market Mondays. lifeladder.com/Market Mondays. All right, so we got quick earnings. Like I said, on Tuesday, I'll be very interested to see what happens tomorrow. Chipotle will be reporting on Wednesday. Shout out to my brother Trap. I should say Chipotle if I'm gonna say his name. Shout out to Chipotle, one of his. And then you know what? On Thursday, Snap, the company we spoke about, like I think in episode 2 or 3,
Snapchat,
and we were saying like, you know what? I don't think it's gonna survive, but it has recovered nicely and it's actually thriving.
Long live Snapchat.
Yeah, long live Snapchat. I'm here to say that
we were wrong about. I was wrong about.
Yeah, we were wrong about Snap. We were dead wrong about Snap. So shout out to them. And Amex. I remember probably in September they announced a deal that they're going to be an exclusive user in China, and I thought this is going to be a great deal. This could really help American Express grow. And I think it was like at $92 then, and so it has surpassed the $100 mark, which I think I had a call.
American Express?
Yeah,
I have American Express stock.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. And so those are the ones we're looking at. And then we know, Ian, we know what next week is.
What's that?
The big boss players come out next week, and so that earnings, the big boss players, the FANG stocks will be reporting next week. So I'm gonna be excited about that.
Let's get into some questions if we can.
You guys better ask a bunch of questions and fire these stocks off break guidelines tonight so we can wrap up real quick.
All right, let's go to Shanique.
And shout out to everybody on YouTube, 7,500 people. If you can hit the like button, hit the like button, please.
Shanique, what's going on? Unmute yourself.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey, how are you
guys?
Good.
What's going on?
Nice to meet you guys. And you are amazing. Keep up the good work. And then for Troy and Rashad, you guys are amazing. Thank you for eating for the community. I have a question about long-term investment. So right now I'm more so maxing out my Roth IRA. So I have a 3-fund portfolio. So I have a total market index fund, and then I also have a international index fund and a bond index fund.
Which ones do you have?
Fidelity. So I have the index funds through Fidelity. Okay. Now I know last week you guys said that they're gonna go ahead and probably set up a Bitcoin ETF.
Yeah, they applied.
Yeah, so if that comes through and I want to add Bitcoin for diversity through my Roth IRA, what should my allocation look like?
Well, I'll give my 2 cents on this. If somebody just talking about this with retirement plans, who said this? Did we say this? This is like deja vu. We just had this conversation.
Cool.
Or was it yesterday?
Yeah, because right now my allocation is 54, 36, and 10.
No. He did say this yesterday. He was talking about when retirement plans actually. He said it yesterday.
Oh yes.
That's crazy.
You're right,
that's
my
crazy.
You're right. You are right.
We just had this conversation, and he
was
like, all right. He's like, I watched Market Mondays. I saw you guys was talking about, Bitcoin being added to ETFs. He's like, now, what do you think is going to happen once retirement plans start allowing Bitcoin allocation in their retirement plan? We had this conversation yesterday.
Absolutely, you're right.
So it's interesting that you bring that up. It's still a ways out. It's not ready, because even if when it has the ETF, retirement plans have to allow it to be in a retirement plan. So that'll take probably a couple of years. But it's something that cryptocurrency and retirement plans, this is something that's going to be big, in my opinion, in the next decade, the next 2 decades for sure, because cryptocurrency will be a major part of our lives. And I think people will want exposure to crypto in their retirement plans. Off the bat, like I said, this is all hypothetical, but I wouldn't really have more probably than like 15% of my allocation, 20 max. But yeah, that's something that you're not able to do that right now. But as the Bitcoin ETFs come out, get approved, the retirement plans are going to come soon. That's going to be interesting.
So for example, right now I'm at 54 in the total market index fund, then 36 in the international index fund, and then 10% in bond.
Too much international. I'm not a big fan of international.
What's the ticker for the international
I don't have it open now. I'm sorry. It's just like a Fidelity index fund
Yeah,
that it's low price that follows
that's too much
that
exposure.
index.
Yeah, I agree with Rashad.
That's
It's
too much.
International funds, international stocks have underperformed domestic stocks for the last 10 years, maybe even longer. And I'm not really a big fan of international stocks that much. I feel like we have enough domestic, because the thing with international stocks is that you're on the mercy of so many of these governments that change so quickly. And there's so much different things that's not reported properly.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about that with Luke and Coffee,
Why you keep bringing it up, man?
No, it's a good,
it's a very valuable lesson.
case study. So
very, very valuable
I don't
lesson.
really trust a lot of these international, and they just haven't performed as well. So I think that 36% is way too much in your portfolio, in my opinion.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and fix that. So I was just curious about the ETF. I'll keep a lookout for it, but I really want to diverse a little bit since it's going to be a part of the options to now diverse, and as well as I'm just concerned because it's very volatile, so I don't know what the allocation should be like, but
yeah,
I'll
no more
definitely
than 20%. No more than 20%,
Oh, no more.
because if you have a hard drawdown, it's going to affect your account too much. So even if you do 50-50, like even most people that believe in crypto, they won't do 50% or 60% of their money into Bitcoin, even if they love it, because the swings are too violent. But you can do Grayscale, Bitcoin Trust, GBTC until it becomes available, and then you'll be okay. But also too, like once you get past 100,000, for those you did like kind of studied the Dow and S&P 500, once Bitcoin goes to 100,000, definitely cracks around 200, and all the funds start to get into it, the gains are going to be throttled. Just like when Amazon went up and hit those highs last year, it's hard to then print higher and higher returns. So like if it becomes available, get in early, because once we hit certain key levels, it's not going to be able to continue to go up. So, but great job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's a good one. Hey, Ian, we had to shout out to my boy Francis. We actually had this conversation on the phone the other day. Amazon has a new CEO. What are your thoughts about Amazon potentially coming into the crypto space?
Amazing. And then the CEO that is now taking the reins is like their Tim Cook. Like AWS is probably the most powerful entity that they have there. He was ahead of that. I think, I mean, I'm not trying to be salacious or give a hot take, but I think the company would be better over a long period of time. Jeff was probably one of the greatest CEOs of all time, but I think when there's not as much media attention on a CEO, and then if they're operations based and they solely focus on the mission, they can probably execute a hell of a lot faster. And I loved him on the operations side. I think this guy at Amazon will be just as good. He'll be like a 1B to that, so they're going to do great. And hopefully, with Jeff not being a CEO, the stock is split.
That was the next part. It was like everybody is waiting on that. Does it split?
Yeah,
we shall see.
Somebody on YouTube said they spelled my name wrong. They had a U, but they said, Rashad, show your portfolio before you give advice to somebody else. I don't think people are fully educated on what's going on here. I'm actually a financial advisor. Like, this is before Instagram. Like, I've been a financial advisor for 13 years. So I can actually charge somebody to look at their portfolio. I never have to show anybody my portfolio ever in my life. Like, I actually do this for a living. Like, I'm not just like an internet person that's just coming on, just giving my 2 cents. Like, you can actually look, you can come to my office, like, you know what I'm saying, and Google the situation. So I don't really think, sometimes we really have to be careful how we speak to people, because once again, prideful ignorance, you're just saying things and you don't even have a complete understanding of what you're saying. I literally do this for a living. Like, look at people's portfolio and give my advice. What you choose to do with it is up to you. I'm not saying that I'm God and I have all the answers, but me giving my advice is not just like I'm like shooting somebody's dreams down. Like, that's like saying, like, a doctor, like, who are you to give heart advice? Let me see how your heart looks.
Let me see your last 4
before
surgeries.
People just say anything. You really got to be careful how you speak to people, though.
Shout out to the bleachers. Roderick, we coming to you. Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted.
Peace, family. How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah, we hear you. What's going on, bro?
Good. Listen, man. First of all, I've been waiting to get on this, and I'm going to say, Brooklyn, we did it. Mama, I made it.
I appreciate you.
So I'm sorry if I'm not going to ask the question that is Ian level question, but I gotta get this off. I'm a new earner. I just joined on Tuesday, right before the price went up to $6.99, I think. So I caught it on Tuesday. I heard Rashad say something about like, yeah, the price is going up. I was like, yeah, I'm not playing with y'all no more. So I jumped in on it. I've been following y'all since like 2018, 2019. Shout to Troy. I'm a DOE employee as well. I'm a teacher, so I used to watch y'all on my preps all the time on YouTube. All right, one thing I gotta ask, because I know Rashad gonna hit me with the what is it?
Guidelines. You're good, King. Rock out.
How the hell? What happened to the merchant size 3XL? I'm 6'7", dude. That 2XL is not gonna work.
We gotta make something special just for you, bro.
Roderick, we got you.
I appreciate y'all.
Hey, yo, Bam, you hear that?
I appreciate y'all. I done sent the emails like, yo, I've been wanting to walk around with my assets over liabilities sweatshirt forever, but now it's just in my head.
All right,
we got you, bro.
Roger, here's what I want you to do. I want you to email Vincent at Earn Your Leisure and type in Brooklyn. We did it.
Email about to
Vincent
higher
at UIL.com. Brooklyn BK, did it. I got it. Also, I started investing in June of 2020. So, just, back in, I'm 49, be 50 in October. Other than my, DOE, TDA, and pension, and life insurance and stuff like that, I've never really jumped in the stock market. But, we were in COVID, we were in the pandemic. I had a little, when I took that first stimulus check and I took the whole thing, me and my wife, and I just kind of dumped it in the stocks. I followed what Trap said, and I pretty much jumped into anything that I use, especially if it was a dividend, right? So, but now I kind of want to upscale a little bit. I know I'm a little bit older, and I want to be able to, at some point, retire before I need to retire. But I'm going to be honest with you, all of y'all, the three kings, trading scares the shit out of me. And I'm sorry I cursed. I really wanted to say something else. I feel like I'm an avid reader in my old age. So, but I just feel like it's so much Ian, I be writing your notes and everything. Everything y'all say, I be writing notes. And by the time I'm finished with y'all at 9:30, 10 o'clock, I have to have my wife put my brain back in my ear. Because I just feel like it's so much, man. And I guess I'm just going to be a long-term investor. And,
which is better.
Yeah, I took your advice. I started in Stash and I had a Robinhood account. So just recently I took all of that and I pushed it to TD Ameritrade. So everything is in one place so I can see it. And plus those didn't allow me to have it where it was me and my wife because it was both of us investing the money. So I moved it to TD Ameritrade and did not even really realizing that I had ETFs from Stash. All of those that they name those crazy names, those ETFs. I'm in IVV and VOO. Small amounts of stocks. But I'm just like, it's a lot, man. I love y'all. I love watching Market Mondays. I'm so glad that I became an earner, man. It was the best money I could spend. In the last week, I was in the financial planning call on Saturday. In my car, I had to pull over. Got the way I was supposed to be late because I was trying to make sure I listened and I was writing notes. But I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. Just keep doing what you're doing. Any advice for me as a long-term investor other than to index, to tech? I do own it's only one share Apple at this point. And I do own like I said, I have VOO, I have IVV, I have two other ETFs.
I got you. Yeah, all right, let me give you this piece of advice. Don't feel bad for not being a trader. Watch these comments. Can you guys name me 10 hedge fund managers in history that outperformed the market for a 10-year period by trading only? Put them in the comments. Paul Tudor Jones is one. Watch how quiet these comments are. All the real money's on the long-term side. Short-term investing or trading is just an accelerant to when you are drawing down. Yeah, so even for those of you that love Bitcoin, so like when Chamath got in, the Winklevoss twins really started that trend. All the money is on the long-term side. So for those of you that want the same kind of joy, you can use the indicators to get in. Write this down. For even for those of you that are long-term investing, you can use the 1 hour or snipers. You can use the 20-minute to buy your long-term investments to get in at a better price. But the more time you have on your side, the better. Don't feel bad for not trading, because you won't find many people that have made all their money from trading. And it's not one or the other, it's both, but you have a higher probability of winning in the long-term game. Same thing like for my people that invest in real estate. Do any of you buy a property and then just flip it the next day with all your properties? And for those of you that do you wish that you would have held some of those properties? For those of you out here in New York, do you wish you would have held that brownstone instead of wholesaling it or flipping it? There's more money on the back end. You'll be a lot. And then also for those of you that are truly talking about generational wealth, why are you looking to flip over a 1 month period if you're talking about generational wealth? You got to pick one goal. Yeah. You're good.
Hey, Roderick, I think you're not giving yourself enough credit. There's probably thousands of people who are listening right now who haven't even executed on the information. You have executed it just at your own time. You're not late. You're not too old. You're right on time for where you need to be at. And so now your thing is just keep adding information. If you're taking the notes, if you're in the Saturday class, if you're in the personal finance class, if you're in the crypto club, it's a wealth of information. You're going to, right? You are what you listen to, right? And so you just keep feeding your brain like that, man. You're going to be out of here. Give yourself more credit and grow. You got a community here that's willing to grow with you. Everybody in here saying that they love you already. So give yourself more credit, man. And congrats for executing on the information. Most people don't. That's the first step. And you're already there.
Yeah, the real estate analogy is a good one because you can make money flipping homes. You can make a lot of money flipping homes, but it's a lot of work. You have to dedicate a lot of time. And most real estate investors that have really become wealthy, they're not becoming wealthy from flipping homes. They're becoming wealthy from buying and holding.
Even hedge funds.
That's just the reality of it. Cesar Pena guy has like 300, 400 properties, probably. And those are all long-term buy and hold situations.
And look at from this lens. Let's say we're competing, but I love you. I'm not competing against you. And let's say we are in an investing contest. And I know if I hold for a 3 or 4 year period, I'm going to win. If I convince you to sell in 20 days, am I your friend or your enemy? And then all the hedge funds are hold for a long period of time, even the ones that they're rotating in. Like if you go look at Kathy's portfolio, the positions that she's trading in and out of on a daily basis and using algorithms, they're different from the ones that she's holding for a long period of time. Go look. Anybody who tells you that long-term is not the way, they do not want you to actually be free. They want to use you for their own freedom. You can do whatever you want to do. Just telling you how the game goes.
That's a bar. That's a bar. Carol, we coming to you. Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. What's going on?
MPW not bad at 1786. By the way,
they're not even asking, Ian. I'm gonna start asking.
Hey, hello.
Hello. Yes, hello.
Hey,
Carol, what's up?
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. How are you?
Okay. Yeah, my question was I have Binance and Coinbase, and I bought Ethereum on the Coinbase. I didn't realize that it's very expensive. Will you suggest that I leave it there and or transfer it to Binance?
I definitely would not suggest transferring it to Binance for a variety of different reasons. Unless it's Binance US, you can't even transfer it into Binance right now with the old Binance setup. And Coinbase is once again, going back to this international thing, Binance is based in Asia. I think Hong Kong, I believe it's a Hong Kong company. And it's just like sometimes you just got to go with the Americans. No disrespect to anybody that's not from America, but it's like whatever.
The regulatory environment is different.
Yeah,
it's different.
It's just
definitely different.
You just wake up one day and it's like can't get in. I don't know.
That's a feeling. That's a feeling.
So, at the very least, Coinbase just got on the stock market. They're legitimate. They're going to have some issues, but you can sleep at night. It's an American company. And I'm speaking from firsthand experience because I can't take my coins off of Binance right now.
Yeah.
We were in a bunch of them.
Gate.io.
That's American though. That's American. Gate.io is American.
I'm just saying, just the different ones.
Gemini is another one.
But Binance, there was another one that we was involved with.
We was in Qcoin. We was in Metadots. Remember that one?
You got to watch the liquidity, not Binance, but some of these other like smaller ones. You got to watch the liquidity because a couple of them got wiped out. A couple of them, people stole Bitcoins and stole cryptocurrency. That happened before too. That wiped a couple of exchanges off. So do your research on this crypto situation because a lot can happen. And being in it for a few years, we saw when crypto exchanges got wiped out because 50 million worth of Bitcoin was stolen. Who are you gonna call?
Nobody. You gonna cry like me when I got caught up in Mt. Gox.
It's nobody to call when you
yeah. We went in liquid. The whole platform is gone.
They're gone.
Yeah, they give you an email like the platform's gonna be closing in 2 days.
Hey guys,
make sure you get all your money off. And if you miss that email, goodbye to your money.
That's a fact.
XPO is pretty decent at 85, 89.
Jamal still can't log into Binance because he forgot his two-way authenticator.
His Google authenticator.
He got a new. I told him not to do this. I said, bro, don't get a new phone. I said, bro, don't do this because the thing about it is the Google authenticator. I disabled my Google authenticator to make sure there wouldn't be an issue when I got my new phone, and I told him that, and he didn't listen. And he got a new phone, didn't take off his Google authenticator. He can't get in. Yeah. He can't get into Binance.
Yeah, that Google authenticator, that's like the 2-step process. And so if you don't update that or disable it and then update it on your new phone, you're gonna be in the same predicament. Shout out to Smalls though.
PSCC is decent at 9103. That's crazy.
My brother. Let's see. Jimmy Harris, we coming to you. Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Carol likes you from the
What's
island.
good? What's good, family? How we living?
Good. How you
good,
doing,
man? Where you from?
Oh man, I'm from Cali, baby boy. Come on, man. It's LA all day.
Okay.
We in your city right now, man. Shout out to Cali.
Oh man, blessings. Y'all got to stop by a spot in Venice on Abercrombie called Neighbor. That's my spot. I gonna take good care of you over there.
What's it called?
Yeah, we'll come.
It's called Neighbor.
Neighbor?
Yes, sir. Neighbor.
Like neighborhood?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a spot. Don't trip.
All right, we're gonna pull up.
Good plug.
We pulling up.
Nah, best food, best drink. Just a little plug for your time out. Appreciate you, fellas. Okay.
Nah, we're gonna pull up for sure. Appreciate you.
All right, bet. So quick things. Number one, Ian, I gotta make sure we get connected on Stock Club so we can get that settled. It's all paid for, everything's taken care of. Just gotta make sure we get the email together or what have you.
Just email me right now and just put emergency in the title, and then I'll get you as soon as we get off. So
emergency in the title.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So let's talk about some entries. I need to know about, first of all, I'm deep. I need AMD. I need an entry on AMD. I've been watching it all. I've been watching for the past month. It looks good on the daily, but it's at the 200 on the daily, but the monthly and the weekly is still pretty high.
68.75. If you need a secondary entry, 74.11.
Okay, now obviously my big thing that I've been watching for eons and eons. I've been waiting for Coinbase to happen. I tried to jump in early, didn't get in early enough. Took a little L on that small L, but took an L nonetheless. And I'm trying to figure out where we're gonna get in onto because it's clearly a future. It's clearly got math on it. I'm looking for 10 years deep on Coinbase, so I got to figure out where we at.
All right, give me 1 second. You can do 3/13/28, but you got to wait like 60 days, so it has an updated printed. And then
no problem.
Yeah, give it 60. But I mean, at some point it probably dropped to 288. But give it 60, and we'll come back to it. Well, what's the next one you got? We're gonna break all guidelines real quick. Fire.
SOXL. I'm hype on the superconductor. So XOXL, SMH. We gotta look at those.
I appreciate that. 28.58 for SOXL, and then SMH 214.53.
214.53. Now, okay. The quick question. Go ahead.
And then when it drops, you'll be good.
Okay, bet. Okay, so quick question regarding the Q. Now, I'm curious about the triple lever Q, the TQQQ. Is that something we should be dancing with, or we stay away from it because it's leveraged?
Do you have kids?
I got a little girl, 12 years old.
I don't want to dig into your business, but like, you have enough if a year passed and nothing else came in, you'll be straight? Don't touch
I do.
Okay, if you do, you're good. If you do, you're good. If not, don't gamble.
Because I'm right about there, though. I mean, it's a gamble. Is what you're saying.
No, it's not a gamble, but I want you to hedge. Because when you have kids, like the world piles on you at one time. So let's say triple Qs fall apart. It'll fall apart. Then you have a hospital bill, car bill. Then you have 9 aunts that you don't know about. That's going to need your help, right? So it's going to pile on at one time. If you are okay, 70.41 is a decent price to be able to get in. I personally will load the boat at 56.67 or 66.28. That is not. I'm not your financial advisor. Investing as risk. Please do not do it unless you're well capitalized. But TQQQ and TCL were 2 of my favorites last year. It's at the highs now. We got to wait for it to pull back and wait for those prices. But it's going to be a couple of days where those two make you scream when they're drawing down. But the long term is pretty damn amazing.
Okay, so on the side note, if we can step away from stock just for 1 second, I have my own line. I have my own merchandise. I have my own clothing line that I wanted to make sure that I'm just learning everything I can learn about how to make sure I'm getting my product. I'm marketing it correctly. I'm meeting margins because obviously when you're a young company starting out, you don't make the minimums. So you're paying extra to make sure you can even get product out there in the first place. And I'm just curious if you fellas had any education on how I can make sure I can execute, or if there's a better plan, or there's a better concept or a roadmap to make sure I'm getting my feet off the ground and my brand is, because what I build, I don't build anything less than excellence. I want everything associated with us and our brand to be excellence.
Let's do this. We are having a meet and greet in LA for earners, for all EY University members in Southern California. So Bam, the head of our merch department, is actually with us in California. So if you want to actually build with us personally, once we get this thing finalized, we'll put it in the Facebook group. Come out and we can actually have a conversation in person about it, because it seems like that kind of situation, we need a little bit more information. We might not have enough time, and it's probably not the best to have it like in a public forum with your business.
Okay, no problem.
So,
Absolutely,
we could build in person.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
You know what? A great resource, Jimmy. We just did part of our limited series podcast with John Henry. We just talked about brand. That would be a nice place to start.
Watch both of those episodes. Shout out to John Henry, man. That's really, for any entrepreneur, both of those episodes are tremendously valuable. The one, it's on YouTube and it's on the podcast. Last Thursday and 2 Thursdays ago. We're doing it for the whole month. Check those episodes out. Check those episodes.
I'm hype on John Henry. I'm hype on Luke. I'm hype on John Henry. I think he's a brilliant mind. I think he is.
You guys are sleeping on John. I'm gonna be real.
And just a small plug. Just a small plug. The brand is called Nobodyville. NBDYVLLE. Nobodyville. It's how we're gonna come together as a family and make many hands do light work. And I'm so appreciative of what y'all doing here. I can't even express it enough. The gratitude that I have for mentorship. Black leadership is so necessary in our community. You fellas keep doing what you're doing. Blessings and love to you, but all three.
Neighborhood.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, you can't say neighbor.
Neighbor.
Yeah.
We're not gang
No,
affiliated.
we're not gang. No, it's neighbor. I thought it was neighborhood.
No, we in LA, man.
No, we gotta be careful. Yeah, we gotta be careful. Neighbor, it's neighbor, Jimmy. My fault.
Queen Street boy, right over there.
They gonna catch us on Slauson.
You can't play around with that, man.
But also, for those of you that have clothing lines too, for real, you guys need to invest. I can't tell you what to do, but you need to consider to invest in maybe 25% of all gross revenue that comes into a bigger clothing line that is publicly traded, like maybe Louis Vuitton. Because while the fans are not buying the merch or buying the product, at least you can be making money from a company. So I always ask the question, like, if I can walk you into, in this case, Louis Vuitton, to get you a grant for your business, would you take it? Everybody says yes, but they won't tie their money in, because every creator's like, yo, I want to build it on my own. I want to do it on my own, get it out the mud. No one builds any business on their own. It's a fucking fallacy. Excuse me, language. Like, you can't, it's impossible to build anything on your own. You're going to buy from yourself and market to you and then finance to, it doesn't work like that. That is a tale that gets told in our community. So we never get told how to actually raise capital and then actually grow a business. Do it on your own.
It's a great point. Point.
Louis Vuitton, Yeezy, Gucci, Iceberg back in the day, Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren, no brand builds anything on their own. It's impossible.
It's actually our brand mantra. It's called "It Takes a Village," because it does.
That's a
pile
fact.
that money up put into the villages, some of them stocks. So until it takes, and then while you're building the brand and waiting for people to buy, you'll still have some revenue.
That is a fact.
Appreciate you, Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, and actually, I'll let you guys know this now. Next one, because we getting this question a lot. We're gonna bring it back next at the end of the month. Every Wednesday, we do EYL University open enrollment, which is on YouTube for anybody that wants to watch. So next week, we got none other than the legend himself, Wall Street Trapper, is going to teach stocks 101 for the beginning. This is going to be beginning level, because I realized that a lot of this information flies over a lot of people's heads and everybody's coming in at different points. So we're going to bring it back to the original essence of it, and we're going to break it down from the beginning level stock. So yeah, that's going to be next Wednesday, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time with Wall Street Trapper.
Big Trap.
Shout out to Trap, man.
Went platinum in the streets.
That's a fact.
Man, hit that Millie Rock fast.
That is a fact. But yeah, okay.
Let's take 2 more, we can wrap.
Let's wrap this up.
My guy ready to get to Man, you about to be all over Cali. You gonna be in Fresno tomorrow. Where you going?
Oh man, you know I love LA, man. I love LA, man.
Ready to rap.
Yo, my boy hungry, man.
Oh,
my boy hungry.
Shout out to Cali, man.
What's the weather like out there?
Oh, beautiful.
I mean,
beautiful.
82,
perfect,
no clouds.
Perfect. Yeah. That's the weather report. Perfect.
Wait. I mean, can I ask you this? This is gonna be good. How's New York treating you? How's the weather?
The people are amazing. The weather terrible, like it is every time I come here. Man, I see Al Capone and Noriega made all them gritty tracks with Alchemist back in it. It's cold out here, man. Good Lord. And everybody like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that good. It's not that bad. 73 at night at Houston. I'm like, man.
Come on.
Market Mondays.
Yes.
No show like it, man. No show like it.
Nah, it's different, man. It's the greatest show on earth, man. Market Mondays, man. It's a shout out to my boy Chad from 85 South Show. He was like, yo, Tuesday show talking about Earn Your Leisure. He's like, that's like financial journalism. He's like, yeah, that's like financial journalism. Y'all like on some 60 Minutes vibe. He's like, but Market Mondays is like, it's like a rap battle. Like it's just that nothing like it's like a live show. So it's a whole different energy, you know. So it's dope to have both of those kind of shows. They kind of play off of each other. But Market Mondays it's an adrenaline rush. Every time I get a chance to do this, man, it's because you never know what's going to happen. That's the beauty of live shows. People think like doing a podcast is easy, but it's a lot of stuff that goes into doing it. And you never know what's going to happen in a live show. So,
and one thing that we always take for granted is that we travel. And so there is no home base really. Like when we're on the road, we're dealing with a lot of things. We got to make sure the Wi-Fi is good. We got to make sure the lighting is good. And so those are some of the very
Pelican bag through the
that Pelican bag, that 80-pound Pelican case. They almost didn't want to give me that today. That was a whole nother situation. But shout out to everybody that was in FedEx. There were some earners in FedEx. Like, I love you guys.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody in FedEx. And rest in peace to Black Rob.
Oh, rest in peace, Black.
Yeah, that hurt my soul.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
We're losing a lot of people, man. So take care of your health. Health is wealth.
I just real quick before you go there.
Well, he ready to jump out that seat.
No, because you brought up Chad, and I want everybody to shout out to our guy Josh Brown, who is a Market Mondays guest. He actually had the 85 South hat on, so go to his Instagram.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
His picture with the 85 South. Chad was like, "How did he find that?" I'm like, "This thing is an avalanche." Shotty was trying to tell y'all 6 months ago.
That's a fact. Troy just completely interrupted my health is wealth conversation.
You about to say that?
I was saying health is wealth, and it's extremely humbling experience. Nothing is more humbling than when you're sick.
Yeah,
it's humbling. Because no matter how much money you have, no matter what you did in life, when you're saying that's just being sick on a like small level. Like if you got like pneumonia, or if you got, you know what I'm saying, something where it's like bronchitis or something, it's like you got stomach pain, and it's like it's extremely humbling. So imagine people that have cancer, imagine people that's on their deathbed, imagine how humbling that is. That's extremely humbling, knowing that, you know, you could potentially die at any given moment. I say that to say just be a good person. That's the golden rule in life. Do as to others as you would want others to do upon you, because one day we're all going to be humbled. No matter how much success we have, we all will be humbled, and we all will be tested with our wealth. We all will be tested with our children. We all will be tested with our spouses. So we all go through trials and tribulations in life.
Troy only has one spouse.
Thanks, Ian.
That's a fact.
Our wise versus wise.
That's a fact.
Man, go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean to cut your point.
But yeah, just think about that, man. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. It's something that's extremely important, and something that we're gonna be pushing a lot more. If you follow my Instagram, I'm real big on the fitness. EYL Fitness coming.
Well, you
soon.
training for Creed 3?
Yeah.
Training for life.
Shout out to Rich, man. Shout out to my trainer. So yeah, I just wanted to leave the people with that, because we're losing a lot of legends. We lost DMX, we lost Black Rob, and a lot of people's passing away, man. They're not even that old. DMX 50 years old, Black Rob probably, I would assume, same age. So that's not even that old, man. So we gotta take care of ourselves. We gotta eat right. We gotta work out. We gotta limit.
I know people talk about a Rappers Union, but that's not going to happen. Like, the labels are going to have to start investing the money to be able to have some, but also like labels spend a lot of money on promoting artists and stuff like that, and they may not have the capital to do so. Like, I think for those of you listening that are in the industry, you got to invest the money, man, because we're having some of our legends pass too soon, and going through heartbreak, and then also to be at this peak of financial freedom, and then to lose it. That sends people, like, to hear that he didn't even have a place to stay. I'm like, how are you a fan of somebody and then he didn't even have a place? Like, that's demoralizing, man. That's heartbreaking. So I think we need to do more to be able to help our legends out, and give these insights so they can be free. Yeah. The music industry and entertainment has to change, man. Like, all this usury that they do, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, just wanted to say that. And condolences to his family, his friends, and his children. Blessings to everybody that knew him. And tomorrow is a big episode for Earn Your Leisure. The first time ever that we've ever talked about sports cards,
collectibles.
The first time that we really had an in-depth conversation on the podcast. We talked about it on NFTs on Market Mondays, but first time we had an in-depth conversation on the podcast with somebody about NFTs. And we're big sports fans, so anytime we get to talk about the sports, especially the NBA, extremely, and if you are a fan of the NBA, you probably know Hoops Nation. Huge. So,
and he came bearing gifts.
He did. Shout out to Buster, man. Good guy right there.
The young legend.
Really quick before we wrap up, have you guys that are listening, did you go study Sotheby's business model? So when you get into the collectibles market, you can know how to navigate through.
Hey, Sotheby's.
If not, go do it, please.
Do your research. Kanye West, #1 shoe of all time, $1 million valuation on it. The Nike Grammy, Kanye, I think 2, limited edition. I think it was a 1 of 1, $1 million on Sotheby's right now. Little sneaker lesson.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, man. Get Santa Monica. Enjoy. My man about to go skateboard and everything.
That's tomorrow, Ian. It's called Don't Ever Play Yourself.
It's called back home.
Red Panda family, I'll see you in like 20 minutes.
It's called the Beverly Hills Bosses are back.
Man, y'all about to go have a blast. I appreciate you staying on this long. I thought we was gonna do 15 minutes and wrap up.
It's called Cali.
It's called Bel Air. We're here.
Fuel Cell is not a good company to invest in. Fuel Cell is probably gonna fall back down to $1.35. Don't touch it. It's a good trade, not a good investment. For those of you that ask me about
the Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
First time.
You about to have a ball.
Yo, hey, call somebody. Please call somebody. Reach out. Call somebody. One conversation, one text can change the trajectory of somebody's life. And like we just said about the Black Rob situation, had more people known his situation was dire, I'm sure more people would have reached out. And you never know. You never know what somebody's going through. So please, I encourage you, I implore you, reach out, call somebody. Do it now. Love y'all. Peace.
Y'all have a good one. Red Panda family, let's go. Stock Club call. Shawty, go have a blast.